Today we're having a little picnic and tea party where I'll be exposing a little bit of tea. Today I'm going to be talking about how I almost lost my virginity. Today we are eating crablets. Of course, the appropriate necessities. Let's just get into the story real quick. So to start the story off. Okay. So I almost lost it. That doesn't take anything from the story. Let me get the food out so we can see what we're eating today, and then we'll get into the story. So this story takes place when I was probably like, I would say probably like 14, 15. And so my mom was like very against like losing your virginity like at an early age, which even though she lost hers at an early age, she was just against me losing mine at an early age. As a mother, you want your daughter to not like lose her virginity at an early age. But during the time, like the internet was so toxic, they were saying like at the time they were saying in order to get a fat ass, you gotta get some dick. That's what they were saying. They were saying if you want a fat ass, you need to get some dick. Dick gives you a fat ass. And my mom was like, oh, if you see a girl with a fat ass at a young age, that means she's fucking because she's on birth control. That's what she said. And I wanted a fat ass. So I was like, oh. So that's what they doing to get fat asses. They fucking. So I was like, and then they getting on birth control. And I was like, okay, well, that's exactly what the hell I need to do. I don't even fuck. I need to fuck and get on birth control. I was like, so my goal, my goal in life, I don't know why, but like my goal in life was to like, I wanted a fat ass. Like, I just wanted a fat ass. Like, no. So, okay, so the way that so back in the day, like, I didn't have a real phone. Like, my parents did not give me a phone, which I really understand, but my parents didn't give me a phone, but I had a tablet, and so I had Kik. And so at the time, like, everybody was on Kik. And so back in the day, Kik was like the school that I was at. Like, we would have like dudes that we would talk to on Kik that would be at our school, and so we would text them or whatever. And when we see them in the hallway, we would like, give them a hug, whatever. Like, if we see them, we're like, hey, give them a little, whatever, and just go about our day, whatever. And so that was all it was. But when I was unfortunately like 15, 16, I was like, no, it's time. I want a fat ass. I was like, I want a woman body. It is really sad, the internet at the time. I should not have been on the internet that young. Like, I should have not been on the internet that young. You know what I'm saying? But I was. So at the time, like, fat asses look good, and I wanted one. So then, it was one of the dudes that I texted on Kik and that I hugged in the hallway whenever I saw him or whatever. And so one day I gave him like a full hug. Like, I gave him like, at first it would be like little pat hugs, like little, But this time was like a full hug because I was like, because I knew, like, I chose very wisely. I was like, I chose very wisely. I was like, I want some D. I want it from a dude that don't speak. I want it from somebody that's shy. And that's exactly what he was. Like, he was shy. Nobody knew him. But he was, like, to me at the time, he was cute or whatever. But nobody really knew him as much because he was very quiet. And so he was one of the dudes. So then when I gave him a full hug or whatever, and I ended up like texting him more. Like we were already texting on Kick, but I think at the time I started texting him more. Like I started texting him more. And he took those signs. Like he obviously took those signs, and we started talking a little bit more and more. We were talking, and in my mind while we're talking, I'm like, I wanna, because I want a fat ass. So I'm like, I wanna, but I'm not saying nothing to him. Like I'm not saying anything. I'm just like, we're just talking, getting to know each other, which I think is right. So I literally, we're talking, we're yapping. At this point, it's like we're dating, but we're not dating. But like we're talking every day or whatever. And so my parents are always, at the time, my parents were always home. Like they were at home consistently. My brother was home. My parents was home, and my brother was home. So it was like a complicated situation. And then his parents were always home. So it was like kids trying to be grown, like just try to be grown. Like both of our parents are home, so we can't even like plan accordingly. That's why I didn't bring it to his attention, because I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I want a fat ass. So it's like, how is it gonna happen? I let him make like all the decisions basically, because I didn't really indicate anything. He indicated everything, and I was just kind of like going along with it. I was just like, yep. I wouldn't be talking to him in the first place if I didn't want the D. I wouldn't be talking to you. But I wanted the D, so obviously let's proceed, buddy. I'm just kidding. But so one day we're talking, and he just kind of like throws out the idea randomly. What we're doing, this was back when TBH was like a thing, and we followed each other like on everything, like on Instagram and on Snapchat. So we would like send Instagrams posts on Kick, send it to each other. So like TBH, and then like he'll send it to me on Kick, and he'll be like a TBH, this, and I will like reply with a TBH, whatever. And so in that TBH, he had said something about like being intimate or having like a little moment, like, basically. I was just like, I don't think he was expecting me to be like, yeah, but I was just like, yeah. And I said, yeah, that dude didn't waste any time. So he's just like, okay, bet. When he was just like, at that point, he was like, okay, bet, I can start this weekend. And I was just like, oh, that can't happen because my parents are home. Like, you can't really just come over. I'm sorry. Because my parents are home. And so also at the time, I had a teacher that was like, had my parents' email. She would email my parents. Like the teacher would email my parents all the time. Like, oh, y'all did this today. Like I would come home and I'm like, oh, your teacher emailed me, takes my tablet. So that happened. She took my tablet because one of the teachers emailed my like parents and like said whatever. So my tablet gets taken away from me in the middle of like us planning like our situation. And so obviously like I take my tablet in the middle of the night to finish the conversation because we're planning, and so I'm letting him come up with like all the ideas. Like literally I'm like telling him like, oh, my parents are always home, and he's just like, well, how you want to do it? I'm like, I don't know. How do you want to do it? I'm like, I don't know. How do you want to do it? And he's like, well. And so he gets to thinking, and he's like, oh, there's an abandoned house. By the way, we all lived in the same neighborhood. It didn't help that we all lived in the same neighborhood. And he's like, oh, there's an abandoned house in the neighborhood we could go to. And I'm like, you know what? I like niggas that think. I like niggas that think. I'm like, I didn't know that. And then he was gonna ride my bus, and then we were gonna go. It was an abandoned house over there. Nobody was at. And we were gonna go. He was gonna walk me to. We was gonna walk over there, and then boom, it was gonna happen right there. Just like, okay. And I thought like immediately my ass was gonna start growing. Like my ass my ass cheeks when I get home. After, like, I thought after we smashed, I was gonna go home and my ass cheeks start jiggling and growing. And then eventually I was going to try to get on birth control because there was, like, the internet was bad because I saw this thing on the internet where you can get birth control sent to your crib without a name. Like, it will be sent to you as if it came from nowhere. So, like, if you sneak in birth control, there's a way to do that. Like, there's a way to sneak birth control. Even though I wasn't going to continue fucking, I don't know if I was, but I wanted my ass to grow. It's taking us a week to plan one day because I can, at this point my tablet's taken, I can only text him in the middle of the night. We literally planned for it to happen the next day. And I had my tablet and it was about to die. And I literally put it, like, for my parents, well, okay, so I literally put my tablet on my brother's PlayStation. I goes to sleep thinking I'm gonna wake back up to go put it back into where it was hidden, which was in the closet on the top shelf. I ended up falling asleep. My dad freaking busts in my room, turns the light on, and he's like, where did you get this? And I'm like, what? Oh, where'd you get your tablet? And I was like, he was like, who is this? And we're gonna call him Larry. He's like, who is Larry on Kik? By the way, everything else was deleted. Like, Instagram was deleted, Snapchat was deleted. The only thing that was on the tablet was Kik. And that's where everybody was at. And so he's like, who is this? And I'm like, we're literally planning to fuck that day, that morning. And he's like, who is this? And I told him, I'm like, Dad, these messages aren't mine. I said, my friend logs into her Kik because she doesn't have a phone. And he's like, oh, by the way, I had to go to school that morning. So I'm like, yeah, that's what happened. So my mom's like, and so she, like, gets me ready to go to school. Everyone in the house is quiet. My dad's reading the messages. I'm getting ready to go to school. So I'm at school now, minding my business, like, okay, my life is over. Today might be my last day living. I'm never getting that tablet back. And, yeah, life is terrible. And so, one of his best friends, she came up to me and was like, are you Ayala? Which I have never, like, ever spoke to her until that moment. And she was like, are you Ayala? And I'm like, yeah, your dad's here looking for Larry. I'm like, excuse me? Yeah. I'm like, oh. And I just walk away. I'm like, what? And so I don't have a tablet. I don't have a phone. So it's like nothing I can do. And so I go to my class, gets pulled out of the class. The principal's like, I get pulled out of class and I go to the principal's office. It's just like, girl, your dad was here looking for a Larry. You're ready to rip his head off because of you and him and y'all messages. And she basically had a whole woman talk with me, and I was just like, I didn't really explain to her that I wanted to be thick. I think I knew at that point it kind of got like past that. Like, girl, it's not just about getting thick. It's about to smash. But it's whatever. No, she had like a whole woman talk with me and had a whole conversation about, like, self-respect. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. Whole Larry, he, I don't know, I didn't see him that whole day. We ain't talked for like a little bit after that, but, and then it was another dude, we're gonna call him Bob. His dumbass, he gonna give him his description. He gonna say, I'm in the band, I'm this, I'm done. And he's having like a whole conversation with my dad, giving descriptions. And I'm like, what are you? And I literally, my dad put my tablet down and walked away, and I went right behind him and like looked at my tablet, saw what he was doing. He was having a whole conversation with one of the dudes. And he got cut off, and I never talked to him again because I'm like, I text him, I'm like, boy, why are you talking to my dad right now? Because my dad's over here trying to get information, and he's over here blah 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 talking, like, and he talking about he helping. Like, fuck you, nigga. That's why you ain't getting no coaching, nigga. And that's okay. And I'm a lot better now, obviously. But during the time, it was crazy. Obviously, I didn't get any dick that time, and I ended up getting on like these vitamins that increase your appetite so your ass can grow. That still didn't work. I'm still skinny. I still don't have an ass. I don't even want one anymore. I came to a point where I accept the fact that I may never have one after kids. I think your ass really, you get your real body after kids. I feel like, because I've seen girls with like petite bodies get that body yada yada after their first child. So like maybe after my first child. But it's okay. I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing anymore. But yeah, that was such a crazy story time. If you guys want to know how I actually ended up losing my virginity, that if you think this story was bad, so if you would like to know that story, get this video up to 20 likes. Get this video to 20 likes and I'll drop it. If it doesn't get to 20 likes, I'm not dropping it. And that's okay. Like, I don't have to drop that. Like, I don't have to tell anybody. Like, I don't have to, like, release that video. But if you guys want to know, like, if you guys care, if you want to know, then let me know and I'll drop it. I'll make a video. I have a picnic again. We'll have a conversation. But poor Larry didn't get any coochie ever. Not even later. Like, he just never got any coochie. Like, he was just scared of my dad after that. Like, ugh. Like, he really was scared of my dad. Like, he didn't even talk to me. Like, I told him my parents were strict. Like, he ain't give a damn. I thought he was that nigga. I guess not. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I am literally at a river right now. I know this is extremely random, but I'm literally at a river. Maybe I'll get some clips of it, but maybe not. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I love you.